mentioned today. It's a great opportunity for us to catch up with Maggie McDaniel as we ask that perennial question, where in the world is Maggie McDaniel?
But we like to do it in song.
We do, yeah.
Where in the world is Maggie McDaniel?
Huh?
Where in the world is Maggie McDaniel?
Now, Maggie is right here
You guys
with us,
crack me up.
but I want to, we both want to kind of tap into your experience in the Holy Land to garner some information about what's going on there right now. You had a conversation with Riz.
Yes.
We've had the privilege of having on the air a couple of times.
Yeah.
Your guide there, and kind of giving you some explanation of what's happening.
Yeah.
After the attack.
Yeah, and with Cardinal Dolan there.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, I did speak with Riz this morning, and kids are back to school, life is back to normal. I mean, you hate to say it, but this is a way of life for them, and
Crazy, yeah.
Thanks be to God, it's been very quiet for quite some time, and the last 6 months that's changed. But he said, really, it wasn't much. They were a little scared for a couple hours. They said when the sirens went off, they went to the stairwells, which is the most safe place in the buildings for them. Because they don't have bomb shelters there in Israel. On his Facebook page, he actually showed, heard the sirens going off and a missile going across and whatever. But it's off into the distance in the sky, so it's not like it was going to hit Bethlehem or anything like that. So thanks be to God, everything's fine. And yeah, I heard you talking about Cardinal Dolan this morning at the Notre Dame Center. Our group stay there many, many times.
Wow.
We've had Mass in the Queen of Peace Chapel, and so I know exactly where he is and what he was doing. He's right outside the new gate and is very close to the Latin Patriarch. His Beatitudes is very close to there. So it's like I can picture exactly where he is and where he had to go down in the basement.
Yeah, because he said he had to go to the center, right, to find safety when the missiles were coming in. When the
right,
yeah.
and like I said, the air raids went off, but they weren't in the area. They weren't,
okay.
they were
They just go
intercepted.
across,
So
yeah.
they, fortunately, thanks be to God, they didn't hit any major infrastructure there. I think they said one IDF place had a little bit of minor damage. And I did hear that one little girl, it was reported two different, one said 7, one said 10, that was in critical condition.
Oh,
that,
there was, okay.
she was in a Bedouin community, so they might not have had any area or anywhere to go, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. And I haven't read any update on that to see how she's doing, but I think she had some head injury.
Well, and pray for her safety. Now, look.
And that was like in Bathsheba area. That wasn't even near this area.
We were talking about the fact that we've been instrumental in this air defense and all that, but it does make me wonder, why don't we send them our desks, our school desks from the 70s?
Yeah.
Those were going to protect us from nuclear
Yeah,
attacks.
you remember? Yeah, we.
All you had to do is get under it.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
just get under it and you were
Yeah.
protected. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to make light of it, but that was ridiculous.
No,
back
but you
in the
talk
day.
about,
Yeah.
with your word of the day, you talk about a people that endure to the
Yeah.
end. The Christians in the Holy Land, my goodness, thanks be to God that they do not leave and whatnot, that they're there and they're safe right now. And let's hope that, the endurance pays off and that we still have the sites and the Christians there to go to.
When Riz was talking about that, not the last time he was on, but the first time he was on, just the fact that he's seen people who have been stalwarts, those who have stayed, who are now leaving.
They're leaving, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, once you had COVID, you lose income, and then you have this war going on, and it's like, how much can they take? But many of them are hanging on, so we just need to keep praying for them, that they do as well. But, what a great word for today.
Yeah.
I mean, during Lent, I actually I listened to the Hollow app and Father Walter Chiswick.
Yeah.
And I tell you, talk about a man who endured. I don't know if you read the book, if you're, but it was just unbelievable what he went through, being in a Russian gulag and being in solitary confinement for 4 or 5 years. And how do you endure when you no longer have anybody to talk to? He had to stand in his room. He couldn't sit on the side of the bed except for at night. He was only allowed to sleep. But he memorized the Mass prayers so he could keep praying and whatnot. And it's like, we struggle after a few hours or days. So endurance, it's tough, but man.
Well, and when we read lives like Father's and others, people going through difficult times, I think of Immaculate and all that happened
my
in
goodness,
Rwanda.
yes.
No one would have guessed that you would have grace sufficient to overcome the things that they went through until you actually get into it. And then we see the abundance of grace that's available to us as on a, kind of as an on-needed base, as an on-needed base, as an ad, what?
Never mind.
As
Well, and
needed
then,
basis.
okay, so and another
On an
person
as
too,
needed
Mother
basis.
Teresa. When
Yeah.
you read her book, and she's like 50 years, she felt in darkness, that she didn't feel the love of God, or she felt alone, or didn't feel that, but she persevered. She knew what she was supposed to be doing for our Lord.
Yeah.
And she did it, and so, we don't know, but I'm sure her reward is great in heaven.
Yeah.
It's like, so we have to endure, even like you had said, even when you don't feel God, or you
right.
feel abandoned and you're in that darkness, the dark night of the soul, you just have to hang in there, and it's not easy.
Well, and
That's
you're-
why these saints and so many of these people that are currently still living are such an inspiration for us,
Absolutely.
and we can really kind of join their story and take strength and comfort from it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of our faith, and having the saints, somebody to emulate and to say, all right, they could do it. Just, pray to them for the perseverance, and that they take our prayers to our Lord, and that we can get through it.
Yeah, and thanks be to God for your connection over there with Riz, again, because of the work that you do. We get to hear this firsthand. He said, people are back. They're living their lives.
Yes.
We continue to pray for their safety. We continue to pray for a cessation of violence on all ends. But they are resilient people.
They are, yeah. And I think we're going to try and have him on again. We'll
Yeah.
have him on every couple weeks maybe, or if something's happening and we need to get him on sooner, he's available. So
Good, right?
he said anytime. So it's good to have that connection and like you said, firsthand
Yeah.
account of what is actually happening with everybody there.
And keep checking the CatholicFaithJourneys.com website for, eventually we're going to be able to
Eventually
go back to
we'll go
Holy
back,
Land.
but right now, we have Poland and 2 Italy trips
Yeah.
for the fall. So, we'd love to take you there. And if you have an idea and you want to go somewhere, give us a call. We'll set up a pilgrimage for you.
That's right.
Yeah,
Going to,
absolutely.
Poland in September, and Italy in October and November.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a few opportunities there, and let's go.
Yeah, and if you're thinking pilgrimage, here's the thing. If we've learned anything in the last 4 or 5 years, it's do it now.
Do it now, because you never know what
don't
tomorrow will bring.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to get in there and get it done.
Absolutely.
When
Don't
there
put it off.
aren't interruptions.
Yeah.
Thank you,
God bless,
Maggie.
guys.
Have a great day. We'll be right back here on Morning Offering.